Okay, so as I sit in my backyard here, I wanted to go over how you can actually access the pre-labs. And you will be turning in a pre-lab, one for each lab. The pre-labs are worth 5 points, and they're going to be due on the Monday of the week of that lab. And so the first pre-lab will be due April 6th, Monday, by 9 a.m. And we give everyone the 9 a.m. deadline. That way I can get the pre-labs to the TAs, and the TAs have a chance to look at those for you. And so everyone's going to have the same deadline. So to access the pre-labs, we've created those or built those in the Google Forms document here. And so to access the Google Forms, we will post, and we'll do this every week, we will post the URL for each pre-lab on the Biosci2B Canvas homepage. I will also post that in the assignment. So here, this page here is just a demonstration page I built. It's not our actual course website. But it'll look something like this, where I will have the URL here. And then I just suggest you copy and paste that into your browser, whatever browser you prefer to use. It should work on everything. And when you do that, you'll end up to a page that looks like this. So you have pre-lab 1, Discovering Diversity. It's our first pre-lab. And this is saying this is me. In order to access the pre-lab, this is important, you must be logged into google.com with your UC Davis ID and password. And so if you're not familiar with that, if I just go to Google, if I can type, your login, let's move me here, your login is gonna be somewhere up here, and here you can log in to Google with your UCD credentials, and then you can access the pre-lab. So you'll get something, a page that looks like this. You need you to type your name here. I was just testing this out, so my name's not Test. But you need to enter something here, and we prefer it to be your name. And then we need you to enter your lab section. And so your lab section can be found on your class schedule. And so some of you are in A01, some of you are in A10, some of you are in B04. You need to pick your correct lab section. And this is important because when we get your pre-labs, your TAs are assigned to a particular lab section. And if you put the wrong lab section, they're not going to see your pre-lab. You're not going to be able to get a grade. So that's very important. For each page that you go through here, we're going to have a next button down here. On the first pre-lab, we have a little URL I want you to look at, a little document here about plagiarism. And then it'll move on to the labs here, give you information about at least the first lab, diversity. What is diversity? How do we sample it? A lot of information here for you. And as you scroll through here, you'll eventually get to some questions where we want you to answer the questions. And a lot of the information for each pre-lab question is available in the reading. Some questions do have more than one possible answer. So some are really more open-ended, some there is really only one answer. So type whatever answer it is. I'm just going to type some letters here. Some questions we built as just multiple choice, pick yes or no, depending on the question, hit next. And then we have a calculation we want you to work through. This is a diversity index you will be doing for the first lab. So you walk through that. And again, this is more of that. Then here's some answers we want you to fill in. I'm just gonna put some numbers here. You continue on until you get to the last page. And what's really important about the last page is this has your submit button. This is where your answers will be saved. Unfortunately, if I scroll back, there is no save button here. We can't put that in. The Google Forms way it's built doesn't let us do that. And so in order for your answers to be saved, you have to hit submit. That's important, that's critical, or else we won't get your answers. What that does mean too is you can go back and edit your responses. Say you only work on part of the pre-lab, you want to come back, work on it, you want to change your answers, you can go back and edit your answers, whatever those are. So again, I had left some of these blank. We continue scrolling down here. Next. So I left some of these blank. I'm gonna keep hitting next. I'll get there eventually. Like these questions here I didn't answer, but now I can answer them if I want. Type whatever answer I want to write there, or I can go back and change it. And so that's valuable. I think that allows you to go back and change your answers, or you can work on the pre-lab part way through. But as you work on the pre-lab, again, if you want anything saved, you have to hit the submit button. very critical, or else it's just not going to work. We're not going to get your answers. If you leave your browser window open for a long period of time with no activity, Google will log you out. So again, it's important every time there's a pause, I just suggest you hit the submit button. That way things are saved. If you get an access issue, an access error, that's probably because you're not logged into Google with your UC Davis password and ID. So that's important. Many of you probably have a Google account independent of UC Davis. That Gmail account will not work on this. This is limited to UC Davis students only. And so you need to be logged in with your UC Davis ID and credential. If you have questions about questions, by all means, you're welcome to work together on these with students. It's a little harder to meet people in this type of format. But anyway, you're welcome to work together. The Piazza site we will have up. You can ask questions on that. Your office hours with your TAs, you can ask questions there. And so again, you're welcome to work together. We just want you to have a basic understanding of what we're going to be doing in the lab in terms of conceptual ideas. And that's the reason why we have the pre-labs. A couple things here. Again, when I hit submit, you notice I saw this page here. Very important. You take a screen grab of that. That way there's a record of that. But also in your email, let's see if this will work here. In your email, you should get a confirmation email and save that. You don't have to do anything with it. Just keep it in your email somewhere. And so if we can't find your pre-lab, that can help us track it down. So again, the pre-lab will be posted by Monday of each week, a week before the pre-lab is due. So you'll have a week at home to work on it. The deadline is Monday, 9 a.m. for every week. So the first pre-lab is going to be due Monday, April 6th by 9 a.m. The second pre-lab 1 week after that, third pre-lab a week after that, and so on as we move through the quarter here. Again, as you have questions, feel free to ask those of the instructors, Piazza, and we'll do our best to try to answer your questions as soon as we can through this online course. It's not ideal. Sometimes some pre-lab questions work better in person, but we'll do our best. Again, if you have questions about pre-labs themselves, feel free to send me an email. I'm Pat Randolph. My email is rprandolph, RANDOLPH @ucdavis.edu. Thank you.